So this is the last post about Fresh Ink. We've had all of our performances and it was just an amazing ride start to finish, I have to say. We had our 2 sessions at the Boys and Girls Club, one of which was Music Can Tell a Story, which is our signature one-shot show where we basically take elements of storytelling, so character, setting, and plot, and we find parallels between those things in storytelling and similar processes in composition. So we talk about character as being instrumentation choice, we look at setting as being the accompaniment, so we play this game where the kids raise their hand if the melody is over here or over there, and then identify what the accompaniment is at any given time. And then we also have a choose your own adventure at the end of the show where the entire audience gets to participate in choosing what is happening at various points in the piece and in the story that we're creating together. So you end up with a very original story that belongs only to the people in that room, which is really fun for us to do. And we were joined by a few of our instrumentalists at the Boys and Girls Club, which was a lot of fun for us to be able to share that program. We also did another really great workshop, which was a composition workshop. And the kids that worked with us on this were a little bit older, probably, upper middle school, early high school. And at first I could tell that they were definitely not into it. I mean, we walked in and they were on their video games and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, it's gonna be hard to get these kids' attention to, write music after they've been playing their games. But amazingly, we brought such fabulous composers and instrumentalists with us who were participants at Fresh Ink, and people were so engaging and creative. It was awesome to have percussion and saxophone and toy piano and just these sounds that they're not really used to hearing, and to have the opportunity to get them to play what they wanted to hear was fabulous. I definitely have to give major props to all of our participants who came with us because they were completely fearless. One of our composers had to rap on stage, which was totally amazing. And, they did such a great job of relating to the kids and, to getting them to come up with these really fantastic graphic scores so they could draw whatever they wanted, and then we had to interpret that into sound, which was really fun. So that was a great session, I have to say. It was one of the biggest turnarounds and one of the fastest turnarounds in terms of, the attention in the room, and I really have to credit the musicians who were there for that. And then we had our final 2 performances. So on Saturday we were at Ravinia, which this is the first time that Fifth House has ever performed at Ravinia other than the educational work that we do through their Reach, Teach, Play program. And we were at Bennett Gordon Hall, absolutely stunning place. We couldn't have been treated better the whole time we were there. And it was recorded for broadcast on WFMT later, so that's something that we can look forward to. But we had half of our pieces that were premiered there, so each composer had a piece premiered at Ravinia, and then a second piece premiered the next day at University of Wisconsin Parkside. And one of the things that was really special about these performances is that our composers had 60 seconds to introduce their piece, and they had little private lessons with Adam on how to speak well, and I have to say I was so proud of everybody's comments. Everyone did such a fabulous job of setting the tone for their piece in a really concise amount of time and sharing just the right information with our audience, which was great. We also were able to showcase the work of our 2 composers in residence, our composition faculty, David Rakowski and Stacy Garrett, without whom the festival would have been nowhere near as much fun. And we got to play 2 of their pieces as well, which was great because, we wanted to showcase where all of these great works were coming from in terms of instruction. And then on the final concert at University of Wisconsin Parkside, we were really lucky to get into this space because it's a fabulous concert hall that was just built a year ago. And as fate would have it, the woman who made all of this possible, Miss Frances Bedford, was in the audience that day. So we were able to thank her not only for the opportunity to be there at that moment, but for what she did for the university and for the community in Kenosha by making that concert hall possible. We had a great experience, beautiful acoustics, beautiful recording equipment, so I know we're going to come out with some high quality recordings for our composers from that day. And once again, they did a fabulous job in terms of, representing their pieces in a spoken way right before, and it was just so much fun to be a part of that. So afterwards, we ended the festival the way it began with a huge, fire and s'mores, which honestly, I can't have a festival without eating a lot of s'mores. And I have to say, it was really, really sad to say goodbye to everybody. I mean, it was a very intense period of time, those 2 weeks, but honestly, it was so great to get to know all of our musicians who joined us, and it was really, really hard to say goodbye. But the good news is that we're staying in touch, so feel free to check out the Fresh Ink Festival Facebook page, as we're going to be featuring all of their headshots from the festival and also any of the projects that they do over the course of the year. Because honestly, my whole purpose in putting together Fresh Ink and everything that went along with it was to make sure that their experience in being heard at this festival is the first of many, that they have many opportunities to play in front of audiences through the opportunities they create for themselves, and hopefully in some small way we've been able to give them some of the skills and opportunities to do that. So it's a project we're really, really proud of, and we're looking forward to see what happens next.